Hello everyone, Crazy Caps here, and I got an interesting video for you today. But first, I do want to note I am sick, so if I sound a little off, that's why. But let's get on with the video. So, the original Xbox, I think it's a pretty cool console. Not only did it have some pretty great exclusive games, and honestly, it's the only Xbox I think that does, it also has the best versions of third-party games during that generation. For the most part. You'll see some exceptions in this video, actually. But I think the coolest part is how it's more modern than the other systems of that generation. You have progressive scan in almost every game, meaning pretty much all of them clean up very well on modern displays, whereas PS2 and GameCube very much don't. And you also are able to save on a hard drive instead of having to use memory cards. But there's one thing that goes a bit under-discussed when it comes to talking about the modern features of the Xbox, and that is widescreen. Yes, a lot of games on the original Xbox support widescreen. However, it's weirdly the least documented of these features. I was surprised to not be able to find a video going over this feature anywhere on YouTube. And so I figured, well, I guess I'll make one even though I don't really do these types of videos. And we'll start with the main point, which is how weird this feature is. For one, it's not really advertised. None of the games that you'll see today actually tell you they are widescreen on their box. And to my knowledge, most Xbox games that support this don't tell you that on the box or anywhere. You just have to have widescreen turned on in your dashboard and hope the game supports it. If it doesn't, it will just be 4:3. This means your only real encyclopedia is looking online, but even then, some information's a little lacking. And some games support it in very weird ways, because this was before widescreen was standard. Some games do it a little weird. And I'll tell you this, on a modern display, another weird little thing is the system doesn't actually output to widescreen no matter what. On my TV, it is 4:3 no matter what. I have to use a TV setting to stretch the image, even if the game supports widescreen. Kinda odd, but that is because to my knowledge, this is anamorphic widescreen, which is a bit different than the modern native widescreens we see. So even the truest of true widescreens are going to look a little weird on the original Xbox. But let's start with a few of those true widescreens. First, the Xbox dashboard. We're showing this in split view, 4:3 each. They're a bit shrunken down. Sorry the presentation isn't amazing, but as you can tell, there's a very clear difference between the two. One of them looks very squished, one of them looks normal. That's because 4:3 is one of them, widescreen's the other. And now we move on to the second thing, which is we're going to show each clip stretched into full widescreen. Figure we'll show them once in 4:3, show them once stretched into widescreen. Obviously, as you'll see, the widescreen clip is going to look pretty good. But here we have the 4:3 clip, and yeah, you can very much tell it is stretched to fill the screen. Doesn't look that great. It's pretty obvious. But now here we are on to the widescreen clip. And as you can tell, looks a lot better, looks more natural, but it still doesn't quite fill the whole screen. And you'll notice that's a trend. Widescreen on Xbox usually does not fill the entire screen. For some reason, not sure why, but that is the case. And here we are on our first game, Super Monkey Ball Deluxe. This is one of very few games which supports widescreen entirely. You'll notice that the menus are adjusted to widescreen view. That won't be the case going forward in pretty much every game. But yeah, you can tell very much which one is widescreen and which one is 4:3. The difference is very obvious. The widescreen one very clearly looks like it is squished. That's because Monkey Ball is a true widescreen game. No trickery here. And here we are on the full view with the 4-3-1, and yeah, you could tell very much it does look pretty damn stretched.
Main game. Challenge mode. Beginner. Ready? Go! Ready? Go!
And here we are on the widescreen one, and even in the menus you will see that it looks perfectly normal. Of pretty much every game I've tested, there may be others that do this as well, but this is the only one that is widescreen in every aspect of the game.
Main game. Challenge mode. Beginner. Ready? Go! Ready? Go!
Now we're moving on to Burnout 3 Takedown, a new favorite of mine. And you'll notice that the game in its menus does not look widescreen at all. There's no difference between the two in the menus. But once we get into the actual game, here you notice that they do look a little different. This one's one of the hardest ones to tell when you're actually playing it, I think. But yeah, you can tell that the vehicle looks a bit slimmer on the widescreen one, you know. It doesn't necessarily look squished though. I think both of them you could very well, like, if you didn't see the side-by-side, you'd have no way of knowing that it looks different, like it's off. So Burnout 3 is a very weird looking one on widescreen, but you can definitely see the difference here. And here we go with Burnout 3 stretched in 4-3. This is probably the only instance in which Burnout 3 will look, you know, stretched. Burnout 3 in 4-3 does, yeah, in my opinion, it looks pretty stretched, doesn't look right. But when we get on to Burnout 3 in widescreen, honestly, you could convince me this is stretched. If I hadn't done this comparison, and if the internet didn't say this game supported widescreen, I don't think there'd be any way to really tell the difference. If you haven't seen the other one. And now we move on to another one I was a little weird about, 007 NightFire. You'll notice once again that the menus, there's no difference whether you play in 4.3 or 16.9. The menus will look stretched on the widescreen display. They will look normal on the 4.3 one. That's just how it is with pretty much every game, even the ones that are true widescreen, like 007 NightFire. And now, as we get into the gameplay, you can definitely tell a difference. Once again, it's a little more subtle, a little harder to notice when you're actually playing, but yes, there is a very clear difference here. Difference becomes less clear as we stretch the game, but once again, there is a very clear difference. And now we move on to The Incredibles. This one is the first game in a long list of them that uses a method of widescreen that's a little different, called Cropped Widescreen. You'll notice that there's less of the visible image on the widescreen one compared to the 4x3 one. Essentially, they do this weird cropping of the image to make it look widescreen. So you'll lose a bit of the image, but it does look right when it is stretched out to your full screen. A lot, and I mean a lot of games do this to do their widescreen. And some games, it's pretty annoying. In Incredibles, I don't think it's too bad though.
Did I ever tell you about the time when once these bad guys had me dead to... Yo, what are you waiting for? Right, you don't know what to do. It's cool. Press this button to jump. The longer you hold the button, the higher you'll jump. Get it? Use your Incredipunches. Don't forget that the more you charge, the more damage you'll do. Press this button to activate your Incredipunches.
Dash, hurry up. You'll be late school. Come on, Mom. 5 more minutes. You said that minutes ago. And 5 minutes before that. I don't have time to drive you to school this morning. Dash, the bus.
Okay, Mom, see ya!
Wait!
Did I ever tell you about the time when once these bad guys had me dead to... Yo, what are you waiting for? Right, you don't know what to do. It's cool. Press this button to jump. The longer you hold the button, the higher you'll jump. Get it? Use your credit punches. Don't forget that the more you charge, the more damage you'll do. Press this button to activate your credit punches.
Dash, hurry up. You're late for school. Come on, Mom. 5 more minutes. You said that minutes ago. And 5 minutes before that. I don't have time to drive you to school this morning. Dash, the bus.
Okay, Mom, see ya!
Wait!
Locomotion! Hurry up, clock's a ticking! Move it! There's the bus!
Yo, what are you waiting for? Right, you don't know what to do. Press this button to jump. The longer you hold the button, the higher you'll press this button to activate your punches. Use your credit punches. Don't forget that the more you charge, the more damage you'll do. Press this button to activate your credit punches.
And here we are on to Pac-Man World 2. I wouldn't consider this a good port to the Xbox. It's a very weird port in general. This game's best on GameCube. There's a lot of weird screen tearing and frame rate drops in this version. Don't recommend it anyways. It's the only one that supports progressive scan though. That's its one advantage. And you'll note that, yeah, it does have widescreen, but it is of the cropped variety. And there are very much instances where this will screw you over in Pac-Man World 2. We're in Haunted Graveyard, which is a stage in which there's a very, very clear, point in which you cannot see something that you would be able to see in 4.3. And here's that moment. As you can tell, you cannot see that on the widescreen one. It's a leap of faith on that one, to where you can see it at least a little bit in the 4x3 one. And here's the full views. Honestly, I would recommend playing this one in 4.3 if you do have an Xbox and this is the way you're playing Pac-Man World 2. But like I said, I really just want you, play this on GameCube, please. GameCube is the easily the definitive version of the game, play it on there. And here we are on to the Spongebob Squarepants movie game. A pretty good game. Not a great Xbox port. It looks better, has some nice visual advantages, but it's very stuttery for me, as you'll no doubt notice in this video. GameCube, avoid that one, get this on PS2. But now to the actual comparison. This one's a little weird. It's the only game I've tested that does not use the widescreen / standard setting in the Xbox's dashboard to determine if it's going to display in widescreen or not. It's the only game that actually chooses based on your resolution setting. If you have your 480p flag set to yes, the game will display in widescreen, no matter what. If you have it deselected, it will display in 4:3 no matter what. Got a fun comparison to watch here that demonstrates this. Yeah, it's a very weird thing with the SpongeBob movie game in particular. This same developer developed The Incredibles, and that game doesn't do this. It checks, based on your widescreen setting. I don't know why SpongeBob movie does this. I don't know if any other games do this. I have a lot of games that I could test in this video, but I don't want this to take me a gajillion years to do.
not feeling like a game of catch right now. Green Bikini Bottom, one hapless soul at a time. These just ooze macho. Upsy daisy! I'm not feeling like a game of catch right now. Boing! Out! Whoa! Take a breath mint!
So that was an overview of some of the games I own that are in widescreen. And as you could no doubt tell, it was a pretty weird thing. Some games are like actually widescreen. Some games are this weird cropped widescreen. And some games use very weird flags to determine if they're going to be widescreen or not. And like I said, you have to manually set your display to it. And finding out if your game has widescreen or not is an internet search, a Google search, whether that's something you actually can determine by looking in the manual or looking on the box. It's a very weird thing, but pretty neat as well. Hope you all enjoyed this look at widescreen on the original Xbox. See y'all later.